Hi, good evening. So in yesterday's session, we have seen how to create your release pipelines, right? So we'll continue with the other options which we have. Okay, this is what we have created yesterday, right? Uh, we have added an artifact. I think yesterday, Charan, I think you were asking, right? So this is actually a CA, basically, right? Hello world app or whatever.
Yes.
So now what we have done, let me double check. I have a doubt here. This is dev. Now I'll close this. Let me check QA. Check the task. Still it is pointing to dev. Because if we see yesterday we have not enabled QA, the pipeline, but it has executed. So 3 times it has deployed into QA, right? Pipeline. We close this. Just want to make sure it is still with, it is reflecting here. There's some issue with the linking here. Let me pipeline close here. I want to delete this. Let me delete this also here.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, could you please go to the task dropdown? Hello.
Yeah, right now I'm the task. Yes.
Because previously you do have development QA and prod, and only the development was selected. And I believe you need to click on task and then select QA from there. Only then you'll be able to, see the changes, I guess. Because when
QA.
you pass, it is automatically selecting the development environment.
It is QA. For something is wrong here. When
Click on the
right now I'm in development stage, right?
yeah, select the QA again here.
Where? Okay.
Click on tab.
Here I have selected development, right? I'm saving also. For development, I'm selecting development.
Okay, now click on the task drop down one more time.
Here?
No. On the top left.
Okay.
So select the QA here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now QA.
Yeah.
If I go back to development. So similarly, we'll add production also. Clone it. Just rename it to stage names.
Yeah, you again need to select the production. Yeah.
Okay, every time I was modifying development. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Okay. So now we have 3, right? In general, this is how you will create your basically pipelines like this, right? Now, what right now I have not enabled any approval here, but we can always enable approval. Click on this symbol. Post deployment approvals. As soon as the development is completed, I want to approve. I want to invite someone who is responsible for the development. For now, I'll just put myself to approve so that, and within so many days, you need to approve it. Maybe I need to approve in 3 days. I don't want 30 days. Okay. The user requesting a release or deployment should not approve. I should not be approving my own pipeline. So in case that is the case, you just, in our case, I'm going to do everything. So I'm not going to enable that, right? So when you start a release pipeline, right, there will be multiple releases, right? For every, when you have a single release pipeline, right? So what happens? Always it will go and take the latest artifact, whichever it is. Right now, just I have enabled only one. I'll close here. Okay, clear. This is how you can add deployment. You see here, tick mark is there. Now there is nothing. So I'll add a post deployment here. Again, I'll add myself Azure deployment, whatever it is, 2 days, and close. Now I will save. Okay. If you see here, we have gates and all, but I will talk about that later. First, let us understand. And definitely in production, what is required? There should be a pre-approval, pre-deployment, some checks, right? Here, the development has approved, QA has approved. Though the both of them are approved, I want to add some pre-deployment checks also. Okay. So here I am going to add pre-deployment here, stages, right? There is that pre-deployment approvals here. Okay. Again, add who is the authorized person. Okay. 1 day, right? Yeah. Save now. Now the pipeline is completed, configured with approvals. Okay. Now we will create a run now. Okay. Because it is, if you see here, the continuation. Okay, let me show you practically. Here you can select and deselect also. If I don't want to run, I want to run only QA, I can disable this. Okay. Right now we are doing it in sequence mode. Parallelly, we can also do that. I will show you that later. Now see here, there is release 2 created. Okay. Click on that, release 2. Just wait and watch. So now deployment is in progress for your development environment. Let me go quickly to your portal while that is in progress. Okay, we have created 3 app services, right? Where are my app services? Here. Okay, now development we have seen yesterday. QA, I just want to take the URL. Here, this is the QA URL. We just see here, it will not be, we'll get an error basically. It is not a deployed into QA, or yesterday we deployed, right? But still, here, let us see what is happening here. See here, development is done. Now, if you go and check your development, there is my development. Okay, this is my dev environment. Let me check what is the status of my dev environment. It has deployed into development environment, my object. Now what I will do as a approver, I'll go and check whether it is properly coming up, all the basic things, whatever I need to test, whatever is required as part of the development, whether it is successfully completed, whether it is meeting my expectations. Assume everything is fine, then I have to approve. See, until and unless if I approve, it will not go to QA. Okay, right? Okay. Now we can choose. Okay, I'll just approve it now with comment. There is fine. Same story will repeat. Only difference is I'll close this. Now see here, QA is queued now because I approved. Let it start. I'll show you the logs. Not sure whether I showed you. Now you click on logs. It will show you clearly what is happening. Initial job is done. Now downloading artifact from CI pipeline. Now it deploy in Azure App Service. It is deploying into Azure App Service. Where here you can see. This is what our app service, right? QA. It is deploying here. Earlier QA was not working, right? Now let us see whether QA will, where is our QA? Copy this and see. I'm going to paste here. It is QA. I can see here. Just refresh. It is not yet deployed. It's taking too much time. Okay. Now it is done. Now you just refresh your QA. QA, you can see here. See here, my website is up. Now again, it will not continue. See, we have enabled post deployment. I'll approve post deployment. QA is fine. I'll approve. Now just go to your pipeline and see what is the progress. Here, development is done, QA is done, production is happening. Click on that. Again, why it is waiting for the approval? We have approved QA, right? It should go and start immediately into the deployment, sorry, production deployment, but it has not started because we enabled pre-approval also, right? You can see here, pre-deployment approval is pending. I can view the logs, whatever it is, what happened before I approve, okay, or reject with some comment, approve. Same thing. Instead of QA, I'll just PRO, right? I think we give PRO, production. Will not be up right now. Same thing. PRO only. Yeah, that is fine. It is deploying into production here. So Vijay, you were asking yesterday some, general discussions, right? So let's say while deploying the into the production, assume my production server has crashed because of some patch, whatever the patch we have updated here, right? Say, so what would I do if my production server has crashed? Okay, click on this, go back one level, go to that specific release which is crossing. Click here, you can see here, redeploy, redeploy. This is the advantage, very good advantage actually. Don't have to do anything. By chance, if production server is crashed, we can bring it up by using this option. It will simply overwrite whatever is there. It will redeploy. Okay, I can do that. Started. This deploying into this happening now. Okay, this will know it will be deploying in progress. Now, what we'll do, now I want to enable CI for the continuous integration. Okay, how to enable basically a release pipeline, we can integrate with the CI, right? If you remember these pipelines, right? Classic and ML both, we have option to enable my continuous integration under the triggers here, right? Let me enable this. This is enabled only, right? Yeah. So triggers, yeah, I'll just save it. I have enabled here. Now go to release pipeline, edit your release pipeline, whatever you have. This is the option, continuous deployment trigger. Click on that. Right now it is disabled. Enable continuous deployment. Okay. If a push performed, this would work. If pull request has to be initiated, for that you need to enable this also. You can choose the branch while selecting this, which branch you want. Right now I have only master branch. It's okay in real time. Okay. You can add triggers also, like how we have added other than the branch. Everything. Okay. For now, this is enough to enable continuous integration. Okay. Let me save this. I'm not doing anything other than the enabling the okay. Here also you have an option to include, exclude all those things, branch filters, everything. Okay. Tags, everything. Same story, whatever we have tried in the pipelines, right? Same thing will be there here also. Okay. You can always do that anytime. Okay. Now what we'll do, so one thing, what is the refresh now? Now I'm checking the production. Now we have welcome to CI pipeline. Now go to your local. I will not assume I'm a developer now. Okay. We have made a lot of changes to pipelines, right? Let us get the latest first.
We need to uh, pull right first.
Yes, exactly. Otherwise, while pushing, it will throw an error. See, so many changes happen. Now I'll just modify my some website change. Welcome to CI pipeline. This is what we have right now. This is the right place, what we are configuring.
This is a YAML one, I guess.
Oh, this one is YAML, is it?
YAML one, yes. The one which you opened in the code is YAML.
But it should put latest, right? Ultimately. Oh, we have not built anything. That is okay. That is the reason. That is okay. No issues. So I want to make some change. The object what we have, if you remember, for our release pipeline, right? We are connected to your classic pipeline, not for the AML pipeline. Welcome to CI CD. Something I'm going to change.
Okay. So you mean to say is this
Our object, whatever we are deploying, that is pointing to
it
the
has been
old one.
taken from classic one. Yeah,
Yes,
got it. So for YAML one, we'll make changes here and we'll push it to the master and automation of continuous integration, and then to CD, we should have to check now.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, I just changed. Welcome to CI/CD pipeline to deploy into Azure App Service. Something instead of default. Okay. This should reflect in my website now. As soon as I do some checking, right? What happened? Is it saving or not? Let me close this. Its status, yeah, just changed. Git commit. Just committed. Let me push this. I just pushed it. I'll not do anything now, right? I just pushed it. Now you go and check your pipelines. Pipelines. See here, my classic pipeline started. I have not done anything, right? When just now. Classic pipeline is in progress now. Okay, let it complete. So whenever the classic pipeline is completed, then immediately my release pipeline. Right now, how many releases we have? Release 1, release 2. I should get release 3 automatically when this classic CI pipeline is done. We'll just wait for some time. Let it complete. Done. Now you go and check release pipeline. See here, release 3 has started. I'm continuously delivering now. It will deploy into my development environment first. It is queued. We'll just wait and see whether the change, whatever we have made, will reflect or not in my dev, right? Dev. Right now, only welcome to CI pipeline. It should change to something else once the deployment is done. I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah, we didn't add any approval kind of thing from release to stages, right?
No, we didn't add. Okay, now
Is there
deployment
any
is done.
option required? Is there any option required there, G, from which has to go from CA to CD?
Not required. It is up to you whether you want to enable or not. It is
Okay.
same, but the process remains same. See, most
Okay.
of the time it is development only, right? Development to development, and it is the initial thing. So most of the time it is not required. Okay, at least some place is required, right? Where we'll check. At least if you
Yes.
deploy into some environment, then you can validate
Yeah.
your
We
test
need to
case.
check. Yeah, we need to check what we have done.
Right. Okay. Let us see now. Deployment is done for the development. Let us refresh it. See here. Welcome to CI/CD pipelines to deploy into Azure App Services. This is what we have just entered, right? Did we do anything? We have just modified and pushed it. Automatically, my CI pipeline triggered. As soon as my CI pipeline is done, my objects got generated, artifacts. The artifacts have been supplied or given input as input for this release pipeline. As soon as the release pipeline triggered, automatically deployed it to my development. Again, same story. I'll approve. Right now, if you go and check your QA will have only the old one, old message. Welcome to CA. Now what I'll do, I'll just approve it. Okay, let me approve. QA is queued. QA is in progress. Now let's say this is the continuous process. This is what happens in every day, day to day. This pipeline to create that initial effort is required. After that, automatically things will be taken care. Again, same story, whatever we discussed in pipeline creation. You want to trigger for every commit, or you want to do it based on some requirement, or weekly once, weekly twice, many things, right? Now, QA is done. Now, what I'll just refresh this. Done. Okay, now QA found some issues. I don't want to deploy this into further. Instead of approving, I'll just reject. Open issues. Reject. It will stop here. It will not even go to the production. Done. So this is how the day-to-day process will happen. This is how you have to build a system which will give a lot of confidence for everyone, right? So no manual intervention at all. So we are deploying everything here in multiple stages. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, right? This is how it will do. Okay.
Gee, I have a query here. So, yeah, we have rejected our
Further
QA.
continuation to a
Yeah,
continuation of
it
our
won't go.
pipeline.
Yeah, it won't go. The pipeline will is stopped.
Right.
So, if they do any changes again, it should have to start from development. Again, it will come to QA. Then
Right.
we will proceed or reject. Right? Again.
Correct. That is
Yeah.
up to you again. If you want
Yes.
to
Yes.
redeploy because of some issues, you have always have an option to redeploy for every stage. If you don't
Okay.
want to repeat, assume this development may take one day. I don't want to do this. I found
Yeah.
some issue only in QA environment. So I corrected that QA environment, local environment, and redeployed.
Yeah, it is not our headache, right? Though the person who deals with the specific agent or the
Yes, yes.
the thing,
The
they will,
respective ones will take care of fixing it. In case if it
yeah,
is
then we can redeploy
DevOps,
again and we can check the QA.
right. In case
Yeah.
of any environment issues, yes, of course, we have to check and fix it.
Yes. Oh, do we need to check the environmental issues?
Because we are the owners for your build environments, right? Okay, you
Yeah.
are talking about QA.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly QA systems will be owned by QA people only. So we'll just communicate to them, or the respective mail immediately will go and inform to the owners. So they have to correct it.
Okay. And so question number 2 is, so generally for the approvals, we have given some deadline stating few hours or few weeks or a few days, right?
Correct.
So this is generally we are giving a deadline to approve within a specific time frame.
Yes.
So how about scheduling to automate this process on weekly basis, for example, or daily basis?
I'll talk about that. That is where the gates will come into the picture. if you see, there are two things, right? One is gates, another one is the approval. So even if you don't want to approve, you can write some functions like Azure functions or some conditions. Assume my, I'll cover that. So there are gates actually. Is that the question you have, or is it different?
Oh no, I was asking like generally you told right we can schedule the
Weekly one.
process. Yeah,
Right.
how do we
See,
do that?
ultimately, when did this pipeline trigger just now? What was the input for this to trigger our
Yeah,
release pipeline?
it's from CA.
CI, right?
Yeah.
Go to CI, the
Yeah.
classic pipeline. Let's say every day I have 100 chickens. I don't want to do 100 push basically. Here,
Yes.
100 developers are there, everyone will push. If I
Yeah.
start pushing for every push, then it will
Yeah.
become thousands of thousands picks for me, which I don't want to do that, right?
Yes.
I have a process which is set and which is clearly communicated to the entire team saying that every Wednesday and Friday, I will be triggering the build. At what time? Maybe 11 o'clock or night 12 o'clock. Okay. So
Yes.
make sure that your check-ins, your pushes should be completed by that time.
Yes.
So go to your CI pipeline, whichever it is, and go to the triggers. Here,
Scheduled.
schedule.
Yes.
When I want it on Wednesday and Friday. At what time?
Yeah.
Midnight. Maybe around 10 o'clock. Done. Which branch? Start. So
Yeah.
Wednesday and Friday, it will start at 10 o'clock.
Yes. Yeah.
As soon as my objects are ready, automatically my release pipeline also will be
Pushed
initiated.
on specific time. Yes.
This is how we can change.
Okay. Yeah.
With this. See, right now, what we have done to edit this, this is in sequence. After completion of development, and let's start QA. Sometimes what happens, you may have to do things in parallel. If you remember in our demo, even on Wednesday, there should be a push, correct? No. When you add a schedule, irrespective of whether a push is there or not, 10 o'clock it will start. I mean, whatever the time you have defined it. Push is not required. That is different. That is continuous integration. Continuous integration means as soon as some push happen, automatically trigger it. That is continuous integration. What we are doing is a schedule. Irrespective of what change is there or not, based on the time what you have defined, it will start. Okay. So these things are happening in parallel, right? So whatever, yeah. Sometimes what happens, you may have to do run it in parallel, or maybe let's say single development, there are two QA teams, QA1 and QA2. Okay. Now I want to add one more stage. How to add that? Let me add a new stage here. Okay. I'll apply the same template. QA2. Okay. So right now, if you see, immediately it will deploy into QA2. Okay. But that is not my requirement. Assume I want to, what do you say here? Right now, what happens here, immediately after your classic pipeline, CI pipeline is done, it will go and trigger this. But assume I want to do this maybe here. You have these options, right? Pre-deployment conditions. Instead of After release, I can say after stage. Which stage? Let's say development. Okay. After development stage, it will go and start it. Okay. I close this. Now, if you see, once the development is done, it will go and start in QA1 as well as it will go and start in QA2. Okay. So you can always go and change whether you want after release or before release. Just here. Select this after selection. Right. So in case if you want to do this manually, you can change it. No link will be connected here. So you have to go and do it. So it will be in your control how to do this. Okay. This is how we can run in parallel. Or you want to do after QA before doing in production. QA2. QA1 is succeeded and I want one more gate which has to upload by QA2. Maybe there is a set of test cases which will go in detail, deeper testing like that. So you can control it. I don't want this. I'll just confirm. Okay. So this is how you can create your release pipelines and deploy into various stages. Clear? It is all. Let me show what we have done now. This is what we have done exactly now. Okay. So what we have done, we have enabled CA. We have just modified as a developer, we modified the source code here. Some commit we have done, push we have done. Immediately what happened, your CI has triggered. And as a result of CI, you got some artifacts. So that artifacts is an input for your CD pipeline. Automatically your CD is also has triggered, right? Then what happened? Immediately it has deployed into development stage. We tested and we approved it. And deployed into QA also. Tested and approved. Again went to production. We rejected, stopped here. So this is what we exactly replicated in real time. This is what we have done here using combination of your CI, CD and repos. Clear? Any doubt?
Yes. Can you go to the pipeline once?
CI or the release?
The normal pipeline. Yes.
Okay.
I'm confused a bit about the schedule. Go to the pipelines again. Yeah, classic one. So when you go to triggers over there,
Okay.
okay, see we have two things over here. One is to enable the continuous integration when a master branch is edited. And then also we have the scheduled one. So which one of these is it going to consider?
Okay. When you have this option, right? Enable continuous integration. First,
Yeah.
what is the continuous integration?
It has to build the artifacts on itself.
Building artifact is common, irrespective of whether you have a CI enabled or not. So you have developers, right? You have 3 developers, example, and you have a repository. This is a repo, basically. Okay. Now, developer 1 is a developer 1. Okay, is developer 2. Is developer 3. This is your repo. Okay. Now what happens? This guy developer one, he checks in. He'll commit, he'll do the push. Again, this guy does the push. Again, this guy. This is your central repo, and everybody is doing through master. Okay. Now you have enabled your CI to master branch. What does it mean? As soon as this guy developer one pushes his changes to your master repo, my CI pipeline will trigger with the current configuration of what you have on the screen. Okay. Now assume this will run for some so and so, right? Maybe half an hour or 10 minutes. Then immediately the developer 2 also pushes his changes. And again my build 2 will trigger for the same thing, because again developer 2 has pushed his changes to master. Similarly, developer 3 also will push his changes to master. Again, after 10 minutes, my one more job will come, one more run, we call it as, right? So there are 3 runs which will run because you enabled continuous integration. That means as soon as some new change happens or come into the master, automatically this will go on trigger. So that is the meaning of your continuous integration. Okay.
Yes.
Continuously
So,
integrating.
yeah.
Continuously, something or the other application is building and they are pushing on to our CA.
Yeah, and then it is going into the CD, right? Once everything is
Because
configured.
we have connected our this particular pipeline into release pipeline. So as soon as some new artifact, again same case there, right? So as soon
Yeah.
as some new artifact, if this release pipeline got some new input from your CI pipeline, so that is a trigger for it. Oh, I got a new artifact, so I need to build it. Let's build and deploy. I mean
Would that
deploy.
happen? So let's say we have not scheduled anything and the pushes have happened within, let's say in the half an hour, let's say we have 3 pushes and the deployment will run for 3 times.
Yes,
Okay.
because you are
So
executing 3 runs here.
okay.
It
So
will be in
I'm
queued.
clear. Okay. So one more question here.
Mhm.
We have also added an option for scheduled. So
Right.
once we have also enabled the first option and the second one as well. Second is the scheduled one. So if we
Right.
enable the integration whenever a change happens
Yeah.
to the master branch, and we have also adding another option for scheduled one. So which one of these will be prioritized? Like
No.
let's say this is a Monday and I pushed my code. Will it actually start the deployment? No, let's say Wednesday and Friday are the ones um, where the deployment happens. And I've posted my code on Monday. Okay.
Yeah,
Hello.
your voice is breaking, but whatever I understood, I like. Yeah. So
Yeah,
first of all,
DevOps
first of
is
Audio
all,
from me?
first of
people,
all,
product. DevOps
first of
is, yeah,
uh,
please carry on. Sorry.
yeah, first of all, when you select a schedule, there is no
Mhm.
continuous integration now. Either this or
Okay.
that. Only one option, not both.
Okay, understood. Yeah, yeah. So that is what I was confused because if you push the code on Monday, it will run again, and you've also selected Wednesday for deployment. So I was confused if both are enabled.
No, no, no. That's why you are not finding that option at all. Continuous integration here. It has overwritten already when you selected the schedule.
Yeah, that was actually my question. So the scheduled one will actually override, right?
Right.
Okay, got it.
This is the case actually in this same case. If say whatever I was explaining, right? Assume like this, you have 50 developers.
Hmm.
Everyone will do the pushes. So I don't want to run 50 times 50 into 3 example in 3 days. So it
Hmm.
will be 150 runs. Do I really need 150 runs? No, definitely not required. So in real time, generally what happens, there is a systematic way of executing this. So there will
Yeah,
be proper schedules,
coordinating with teams.
right? If there
Yeah.
are 1 or 2 developers, small project, let's go ahead and run it for the every what do you say, push. And moreover, another important thing here is your master branch, right? Though these guys are, I hope you remember one example I was giving in one of the session, right? You have uh, so let's say you have developer one. He can do 10 commits and he will do one push, right? And the developer two have 20 commits, can do 3 pushes, right? Similarly, developer 4, maybe another 30 commits, maybe one push. Okay. So now what happens? The push, right? If you remember, there is a PR concept, right? Pull request concept. Though he has created so many things, the push will happen through pull request only, right? Pull request. This pull request can be only one for all these three. Developer 1, developer 2, developer 3. Maybe they have done so many commits, 10 commits, 20 commits, 30 commits, or 1, 2, plus.
Yeah, they want to merge everything from their
When,
batch to master, then they will give only one pull request.
right, that the senior person or the in charge of this, whatever the modules, right, that guy will generate or create a pull request to merge into the master branch only one. So what happens that time? So for me, ultimately, even if I enable the continuous integration here, right, the number of pushes which will come into the master will be very, very less. 100, 50, 200, 300 commits and pushes will happen at the development branches. And if you remember the structure, right, the branching concept, that is also important. Things will go first into the development integration branch from the individual developer branches. Once development integration branch is completely tested, then only it will come to the master branch when it comes to the release process. I mean, release to the productions. Whereas the developer integration branches also, we can enable the pipelines, right? So here, maybe duplicate the pipeline instead of master, I will go to dev int integration branch. So there I can configure maybe every day 12 o'clock or every day morning, early morning, or weekly twice based on your frequency of all those things. So many things matters before deciding on the schedule part. Okay.
The second option, batch changes while build is in progress.
Ah.
So it links with the applications while in build stage in the master branch, or how do we explain it?
No, this is not, see, whatever the branch you have specified, this condition, right? What does it mean batch the changes? Let's take the same example here. Let's say in a day, developer 1, developer 2, developer 3. This guy has done push 1, this guy has done push 2, this guy has done push 3, right? Now, how many pushes happen? Before that, I have my which job is running. Okay, or take one more developer, developer 4, right? This guy also will do the push. This is push 4. Assume my push 1. So because you have enabled continuous integration here, for the push 1, automatically my build will be running. Basically pipeline. So assume that may take 3 hours. Within these 3 hours, this guy has done push, this guy has done push, this guy has done push. How many pushes I have now together? Total 3 pushes I have. While
Yeah.
my pipeline is in progress.
Pipeline is in progress.
Now for these 3 pushes, if you don't enable this option, it will go and create another 3 runs. 3 runs. Right? Do I really require 3 runs? If you take The push is already done. Put P2, P3, P4. The changes of developer 2, developer 3, developer 4 already executed in my first run itself. And what is the use of running run 2, run 3 for the same source? It's of no use. That's why if you enable this, it will combine all these 3 pushes, P2, P3, P4, and create a single run instead of 3 runs. Single run. So it will not run 3 times. It will just run only 1 time if you enable this option. That is the advantage of this. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. Any other doubts? So what we have seen so far is like deploying into Azure App Service, which is cloud. Assume you want to deploy same whatever we have generated here, the artifact, into some, what do you say, virtual machine, which is there in your okay, good. So which is there in your some on-premises, right? You have multiple virtual machines. You want to deploy that particular, you don't have, assume you don't have cloud at all. So maybe you are maintaining all your on-premises services, but your source code is there in Azure DevOps. Your pipelines will trigger in Azure DevOps. Then how will you take it? Now, if you remember something, we created a service connection, right? In your project settings, how are we connecting your CI pipeline and CD pipeline and artifacts, all those things into your app services using your one of the service connection? What you have? Where is the service connection? This is what we have created. Now assume I want to deploy into my VM. Everything is here. Okay. From this point, I want to deploy into some place where my virtual machine is sitting, maybe into your laptop. Assume that is one VM, right? How can we do that? So that
Create a new service.
You have some options for that. First, you need to create a virtual machine. Assume you will create your virtual machine in the Azure itself, Azure Cloud itself, right? You don't want to create your those things. First, you have to create your virtual machine in your Azure. Assume you don't have anything. So first, you have to create your VM. Yeah. Go to virtual machines and create your virtual machine. Create a virtual machine. This will take some time. Already 9 o'clock. What I will do, I'll share the tomorrow and after tomorrow. I'm not available. I have limited access. Even if I connect, it will be of no use. So I will share the recording for this particular session. You please go through it. You come back when we connect on Friday. Uh, uh, and we'll try to connect if you guys are okay on Saturday weekend also. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Before that, I have small query. So for AZ 400, do we need any prerequisites to do the certification?
Is it 400 certification prerequisites? No, that is you can start with AZ4 104, right? 104,
Okay,
right? You're asking.
Yeah, so yeah, because I saw like for AZ 400, I saw we need to have either 104 or 105 or some 204.
104 is preferably useful for that connection to that. So you can try to learn on 104, which is completely for the more of what do you say, admin side.
Admin, yes. Other one is for developer, I guess. Azure.
Right.
Okay. Okay, Ji. Okay. First we have to see about our topics first. AZ 400 topics.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Yeah, we can have no issues. We can go through it, I'll share it. Yeah, same. Whatever I'll record and I'll share it.
Yeah, I'm okay with weekends also, Jay. If it permits, I'm okay with weekend also.
Yeah, we'll have because
Okay.
this week and next week my availability will be very less.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
got
why.
it. Yeah,
I'll share the recordings also. Meanwhile, you can go through it, so it will be easy for you to, in case if you have any doubts, also you can ask in that live session.
okay.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.